Toys, 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 manly toys, 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 toys,
and TV and movies too. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Toy Duo team, where we come to you every Saturday at noon and we talk about action figures and pop culture and whatever else we want to talk about. And why John sits at the bottom of his screen and leaves so much room that you can see that he's got some Star Wars action figures above him, and why Left Coast Graphics' shelves look empty behind him.
I can't actually
talk about anything else. Vern has rules.
This laptop is broken. I can't. It's got to stay in this exact position, or
I'm just
put an Apple sticker on it. It'll work much better.
The screen will fall off.
Anyway,
so I got a question with that graphic on the front. Does that mean Herbie's part of the Toy Duo team?
Who?
Now? Herbie. He's in line. He's right after Fred Flintstone.
That is part of that Fantastic Four.
No, he's part of the Toy Duo team now.
He'll probably be like Dino and never come on.
I saw a rumor that
Dino will call. Dino's been calling me every 5 minutes today. Literally, he's probably called me. He's probably called me about 30 times today.
He's like, "Do you want this? Do you want this? Do you want this?
Yeah,
do you want this?
Do you want?" He's calling you too, isn't he?
Yeah.
Do you want this? I found this at this store. Do you want this? No.
Oh, I found this for you.
It's nice looking out for us, though.
Rick's upset because I have rules because we cut him off last week. We're getting into a very controversial.
We can't talk about anything. Just pre-approved subject.
One day we can have a really...
on that robot. I heard I saw a rumor, a Twitter rumor. It's being voiced by Kelso's girlfriend, whatever her name is. The chick from the '70s show who married Kelso in real life. Apparently, she's the voice, but that's just a rumor.
Of what robot?
That robot who's now part of the Toy Duo team.
Herbie.
Oh, okay. The robot that's in that movie. Yeah. So I have some graphics up for that. A Fantastic Four. So let's talk about that in a second. Let's just say hi to some people in the chat because when we do a live stream, not all get everybody involved. What?
Well, there's nobody in the chat.
Yeah, there's a couple people. Gap is here. He's saying hello, Vern panel. Hello,
Gap doesn't count. Gap's complaining about me later on. He doesn't count.
I just skipped Connor. Can you mute Connor for an hour and 58 minutes?
Dan is saying it's 5 o'clock somewhere. Sunny Sundry says, "G'day, mate. Duty calls again. He will watch the replay." Connor from Foolish Figures is saying, "Stop the retros."
Ridiculousness.
What? Yeah, what's wrong with you?
Jonathan Redmond is here saying hello. We got Pop Culture and Plastic saying good morning from Sydney, Australia. It's 7 a.m. here. Coffee ingested. Please begin. He didn't say please. He just said talk now. There's no please involved.
No, just start talking.
It's funny how I read into sentences and put words in there that aren't even.
Yeah. Change what it would
hey, plastic. Say. You got chips
here.
Hi,
Whatever, John. What Gap? How you doing? Whatever, John.
All right, let's see. Let me pull this up. So I did
Team Gap. They're all like
Team Gap. They're all Team Gap. Team Gap.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. So we all heard the news that Marvel's Fantastic Four was cast, and it's going to be Pedro Pascal, Vanessa Kirby, Joseph Quinn, and Eben Moss. Baccarat or Baccarat? How to pronounce that other second last name?
Back scratcher.
Team Andor. That's how I say it.
So, and I put my picture of my head swap on there just because I just trying to be funny. I feel like, in my opinion, the casting is backwards a little bit because
his head is that big.
No, because traditionally comic book wise, I would say Eben Moss might actually be a better fit for Reed Richards because he's a tall, slender dude. I'm not seeing him getting zapped by cosmic rays and becoming a really bulky, wide, guy. Like,
are you saying Pedro is buff?
Well, yeah, he's got
he's got like a dancer's body, to be honest.
Plus, Pedro's used to just not showing up on set and just doing the voice later. So that's perfect for the thing. He never has to show his face. He shows up to like record his voice later. It's like a done deal. It's like that could just be his contract forever.
I think it's interesting because when I think of Mr. Fantastic, I think of gray hair, which means he's older than 29, like me. So I just think it's a weird casting because he's not like in his 40s or something. So that's it though. Like other than he's not Caucasian, which I also thought the character was a Caucasian older man. But he's a popular dude in Hollywood now. So put him in every series except Stranger Things and Reacher, and there's Pedro Pascal.
Well, that's the thing. If this was a series, I would say, but I'm not. I'm not feeling the casting very much.
He's in everything though. Like he's currently they're filming The Last of Us here in Vancouver.
But has he had any movies that have been like draws? Is he a box office draw for like a movie?
I don't even know he's even been in a movie.
He was in The Kingsman, one of the Kingsman ones, the US version.
And he was in that one with Nick Cage too, which is actually a really clever, fun movie. I don't remember what it's called, but it's Nick Cage as himself, and this guy, Pedro's character, is like
the villain or whatever.
Find him or something, and it's a very funny movie actually.
Okay, I haven't seen that one, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's it. And it got to start from the Game of Thrones, right? So that was his being major league actor was in that show as I guess a bad guy kind of a character. But yeah, good for him, man. He did really well in the zombie show. When he was announced for The Mandalorian originally, like when he came out to the studio or that room in Chicago in Celebration when all the actors came out, huge applause. Like people were very excited to have him even before they even seen a clip of him wearing the armor or anything. So it's cool. We'll see how much he shows up at all if for the filming.
Right. So the thing is like you got a couple comments here. Let's see. The guy
Gary,
Human Torch. Oh,
Paul.
What? Oh,
Gary, G-Force, Paul. Say hi.
All right. Oh yeah, Paul Morales jumped in. G-Force jumped in. Gary Grills jumped in. This guy playing the Human Torch looks like the type who wants to complain to the manager. I'm thinking he's like he'd be perfect for a reboot of the 70s show.
Yep.
I don't know.
Wasn't he in the 70s show?
No, he's not
even old enough to be in the 70s.
That guy's in jail. And then Jonathan saying anybody's a better fit for Reed Richards. The thing is, so most of it's you got Eben and you got Pedro Pascal, and they're both like I think aged out a little bit, right? Like for a Fantastic Four. But with that said, right, if you think about like age, they did do a young version of Fantastic Four. That's the one in the middle, right? Where they tried to like reboot it with much younger people in all of the key roles. And it wasn't successful either.
Because the story was horrible.
Yeah.
So do you
the only halfway decent one that's come out so far has been the one with the Silver Surfer. And it was because the Silver Surfer's in it. And they did the really Silver Surfer pretty cool.
Yeah, wasn't that Fantastic Four 2? Like they make a sequel.
But that also has the worst Galactus that's ever been.
Who was Oscar Isaac, right? Wasn't it?
Yeah. Was it?
Well, he played no, he was in one of those X-Men movies as
thinking Apocalypse.
Which is Galactus was a cloud in that movie, which is so freaking stupid.
I think that
why?
See, my problem with that, the one on the left, the one with Captain America playing the Human Torch or whatever, that version was, I like Michael Chiklis, but I did not buy into his thing at all. I didn't like the way he looked in it. I just thought it looked weird.
Really?
I thought he looked good. I just didn't like a Apollo actor playing, again, a Caucasian character from. I don't know how that changes in any society where, I don't know. I understand actors are actors. I don't see the color, but I do see the color. Like when you change the character completely, like it's like taking the Incredible Hulk, who was originally gray, then became green, and just making him a blue character. It to me, I mean, it just doesn't make sense. I know that's a little out there, but I'm more looking.
We're actually not allowed to complain about that.
Well, you're not. I don't give a. I'm actually more. I hope it's a really fun movie, like what they did with the Hulk movies in the Marvel.
Because if you switched it the other way,
and because this is so out there and they're outrageous kind of characters, each and every one of them, I do hope that there's a lot of humor brought into this, like AKA James Gunn style, or like we were seeing in the Hulk movies. But I'm more excited for the theories and potential things we can get to see in the Deadpool movie. Like, I think for sure we're going to see that Flame On character played by Captain America himself in Deadpool. Like, I guarantee he's going to go through all these places and he's going to see Ed Norton as the Hulk. He's going to see Captain America as the Flash.
I don't think Ed Norton's ever going to play the Hulk again, unfortunately.
I'll bet you money, man. I guarantee you Ed Norton will be in.
I think that door has closed. As much as I really did like the movie with Ed Norton,
it'll be that. I think it'll be that good. The only thing bad about it is it wasn't made in Canada for whatever reason.
Well, they knew better
than
and all the X-Men will be in Deadpool. Because did you watch
the movies? From all the movies.
Yeah. Did you watch the only good scene in the Marvels where at the end credits scene when the Beast showed up?
Yeah, Fraser Crane showed up. Yeah.
The only good shot in the movie.
All right. So these were the different versions of the Human Torch. And I got to tell you, did you guys ever watch that Roger Corman version?
Flame On.
I actually own it. I have it on
It's DVD. Like he's a cartoon.
Yeah, he's a cartoon.
Cartoon. But I mean,
on
like,
DVD.
Well, that's special effects back then, right?
Yeah. I have the Captain America movie on DVD too, where he's wearing like an actual cloth outfit that his mom made for Halloween.
The one where he has to. They have to stop the missile at the end or whatever.
It's ridiculous. Yeah, it's terrible.
Polyester, man.
So I think, like, if you look at these pictures, right, like if you look at the two versions of the Fantastic Four, the more recent ones, there's not a whole lot more they're going to be able to do with that, right?
No.
That's the special effects going forward. So you could just picture
the middle one looks pretty good. Look at that. Like, look at the fire coming off. It looks magma.
They should make him out of translucent plastic.
Yeah, I mean, that might be the only other thing is like they make him more like white hotter or whatever, and then
he's gonna go supernova.
That'd be real. They really got to set him on fire and then put it out right away.
Okay, so which
you've got him in the wrong order now. That the middle thing was the one from the right movie.
I know, but I'm trying to fit the pictures in there.
And also, we're going to see one of these things in Deadpool.
Or a combination. I would love it if they brought that Roger Corman thing back.
Oh, yeah, that would be great.
That would be hilarious.
You heard it here first.
Yeah. So what do you guys think? I mean, which version of the thing do you like?
The one played by the actor.
Yeah, the one on the left.
That's
the one on the left
was actually an actor, I think.
The one on the left.
I can't think of his name. The guy from the crime drama acting.
Yeah.
I can't stand that one.
Because the thing is
his costume was real, and that's what I liked about it.
It looks more like the comic, where the one on the far right looks like Korg.
It is Korg. It's just a CGI rock man.
Yeah, Thing distinctly looks different than Korg in the comic books.
I think that what's going to happen is you're going to end up with another CGI
cartoon.
It'll be both. There'll be a real costume for certain things, and then stuff that's superhero like.
No,
because it'll be CGI.
It's going to be that guy wearing like a little green hat, and like the dots all over him, and they're going to CGI the whole thing, just like they do with every other CGI hero, because there's not a Hulk costume
except two of these thing costumes we're looking
at. And I think the Roger Corman one looks really cool in pictures, but looked really bad on film. So
yeah, I totally
you could see the rubber like moving on film.
Yeah,
like,
you can see the zipper.
It was funny.
Well painted though.
Okay, what about
good choice. Just a good choice overall for the new one.
Yeah, I think that was probably the best casting. for the new one. And I don't think that they can get it wrong. I did like the special effects on the one on the left here. I thought were pretty good. She put them in like a bubble, but it did look kind of cartoonish, I think.
So what's the one key feature about Sue Storm that like the character, the
she's
actor
hot. She's always got to be hot.
Oh, no, it's a blonde woman,
blonde
right?
hot girl.
So it's a blonde woman. So if it wasn't a blonde woman that they cast, or a woman, or
they
a
would have to.
person, then
they would do what they did up
wrong.
here with Alba, and they would say you have to dye your hair for the role.
Well, they did. She did dye her hair for the role, but that's okay. Hair is overrated anyway. But
yeah,
you know what I mean. Like,
no, I know what Rick's trying to say, because it's like this: if it was turned around the other way and they made a Luke Cage film, but they hired Jason Statham to play Luke Cage, everybody would go ape shit because Luke Cage is not a white guy. Okay.
He's not?
So if it was reversed, they would go ape shit.
Well,
because it's not a reboot, really, right? Like, that's in a way it's a reboot because they're restarting a new movie universe with these characters that are owned by Marvel, but it's not a reboot. It's still the existing story still exists. Like Spider-Man, like he still got bit by a spider and he has Aunt May. Like all those, you have to stick to the true origin story.
They don't have
character, or well, then no one's. I'm not going to watch it. Then no one's going to
rewrite it. I mean,
your property. No, I think this is going to be based on like a series of like 4 comics. Like John knows the comics more than all of us. I guarantee you this movie is pulling 100% of its story from existing comics, and then they'll add some stuff to bring in.
Yeah, but I mean, like you're saying, like
do.
They go into space, they get hit by something. It could be cosmic like rays. The way that they do something with where they had the Scarlet Witch built like a dome, and then Photon gets her powers right on that in that universe.
Yeah.
They could get zapped some other way or something like that. They could make them mutants.
I think it's a microwave oven gone awry.
That would actually be a really good story.
What I'm most excited about in this movie is that it looks like it takes place in the 1963 era, and I think that's awesome. I love when big budget movies, TV shows, they gotta redress everything to look that part.
Well,
like,
you know what?
We're playing in a 60s toy box.
It's a trick.
Here we go. And I think that's awesome. I really look forward to seeing that.
Rick, you know why that's a trick, right?
That's just awesome, man.
It doesn't take place in the 60s. It takes place in a 60s sitcom created by the Scarlet Witch.
But that's what's cool about that show is because all the people, like, I'm not saying people that make costumes and people that build sets and stuff don't work hard, but when you put them in this kind of environment, like a setting in a 60s setting, they just have to work harder. And I think it shows their work off more. Like, it shows how talented they are when you have like old 60s police cars and like Back to the Future. Like, part of the love of that was seeing, you know, the 60s version and then the future version, like what they thought it would look like in the 80s to what it actually looks like now. They still did pretty good. It still holds up well today. We all love those movies.
So do you think
I look forward to seeing what they make the 60s look like, because
well, I'm just curious.
Iron Man did it a little bit.
You keep thinking it's going to be in the 60s, but I mean,
there's no
mention of them in any other MCU show. So is it going to have to be like a time warp thing where maybe it starts out in the 60s, they think they're in the 60s, but then they are in the future, or they get plucked from like another Earth that
I think it's pretty simple. It just takes place before Iron Man.
I don't. Yeah, they're all dead already.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be it. And then that would explain the older cast, right? You don't need them anymore.
They all died of old age by the time Iron Man happened.
No.
And everyone on Earth forgot about them because Spider-Man did a spell.
Iron Man 2, where they show some flashbacks to the World's Fair or whatever, the Tony Stark Fair.
They're dead, Jonathan. They're dead.
That's the place in the 40s.
What you're saying is,
and then the 70s.
So I'm going to call it right now, Rick. I think that you're using that picture that they did to make it seem like it's going to be set in the 60s, but I don't think it will be.
That's why they paid the artist to paint that to fake us.
Here's the different versions of Reed Richards, and I think it's going to be hard for Pedro Pascal in the Reed Richards role because I think a lot of fans just loved Kurt. How do you say it?
John Krasinski?
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? And I think
and everybody wanted him to play him. Yeah,
he's just the one that people wanted.
He's a very talented actor, director, writer, producer, all those things now. So it would have been great, but I get it that he's not. Like he's working on other stuff. He's got other bigger things.
He's got his own thing going on with.
So I think it was cool that they gave us that little Easter egg of him, much like we've got Professor X and some of the other characters in that scene too. It's neat because, but going back to 1963, that's also when Doctor Strange comic debuted. So that character kind of existed starting in 1963 in the comics. I can see very likely him being in this movie too as one of the other superheroes alive in the 60s, right? I don't know all the comic history, but think of other tie-ins that the Fantastic Four had in the comics and characters that haven't been in the MCU yet, whether it's Doctor Doom or other villainous characters. I think it'll be fun.
Yeah, I'm just not buying that like 1960s motif.
Why? That's the easiest thing you should have to believe. The
No.
thing is made of rock.
I think you're making a big
and the Fantastic Four takes place 40 to 50 years ago.
I think what they're showing in this image of them sitting around and what you think is a 60s thing, because see the space.
It is a 60s
hold
thing.
on.
Look at the style of the art. First off, the style of the art.
They didn't have those spacesuits in the 60s.
They didn't have cotton and
that's a shuttle era spacesuit.
Right, that's shuttle era, so that's obviously not in the 60s. Secondly, everything there you could go get at Goodwill.
It's not shuttle's era spacesuit.
So what they're really saying,
the Apollo isn't a shuttle. That's pre-shuttle.
No, this is actually there's no this is that spacesuit is definitely a not Apollo
from the 60s.
Yeah, it's from the late 90s when they shut
the moon landing was fake
program down. But good try, Rick. Good try trying to dazzle everybody with all of your words.
Well, it's cool to see all the big entertainer sites.
We almost believe
steal my content and share it as their own.
You kept going. You almost had me. Almost this close.
Well, you're welcome.
What they're really saying is that the back
let's
checked out by the Goodwill.
The Marvel Studios logo is a retro 60s style. The colors, the art style. The 1963 Life magazine.
Comeback is why it's making a comeback.
It's retro.
60s are coming back.
The 60s.
Gary's the only one here that was around.
2020s are the new 60s.
You know what would be cool though? It'd be cool if the mole man attacks and that giant green monster comes out of the city ground, out of the street, breaks through, like the cover of the first comic.
Do you have any? Is that called Silver Age? The 60s?
Yeah, the Silver Age of comics. Oh, you know what I got?
Me? You mean me or?
Yeah,
I got that poster right there.
Oh, I have all of them. Yeah.
Okay. We don't know it won't be made in Canada. Like most stuff is made in Canada.
I actually don't own Fantastic Four #1, other than
I don't understand why they don't.
That's not true, Rick. Clearly, based on that picture, it is not filmed in Canada.
They're making The Last of Us, that video game one with Pedro, right now in Vancouver. Everyone's here except Pedro. So again, he's one of those actors that only shows up the day he's on film, kind of thing.
Except Pedro, the main guy, the main character.
I'm telling you, he's not going to
be supposed to start filming Mando like May, June, or July, which is coming up in a few months. And now this Fantastic Four. When do you think they're going to film that? Sometime in the next 9 months. So just film them all in Vancouver, and he can just go from one spot to the next spot to the next spot.
Well, that's why I think that
otherwise, I don't know how he's going to do it.
That he would have been way better as like the Thing.
Pedro as the Thing?
Yeah, because then he doesn't have to show up. He can just show up to do the voices.
Yeah, he just shows up to do the voice. Yeah.
And he just looked more like he'd be.
I'm happy they picked, because this actor I really liked from Andor, and he's gone on to do another show that's very popular that I've never watched, but I do want to watch it just because he's The Bear, it's called, right? Because he's on it and he's one of the key actors in it. So I'm impressed with him as an actor to begin with, just from Andor. So hats off to him for making it in the MCU. But yeah, that character, I don't know. That's a chance where they could have brought in maybe a comedic type performer. I'm not saying Seth Green or, but I mean, because it is you're voicing a character more than, I'm assuming there won't be an hour of content in the movie of him as a human. I'm just assuming that.
Right.
But yeah, hell, good luck to all. Like, I think it'll be big budget movies are what we all want to see when it comes to Star Wars and MCU. Like, the less stagecraft, the better, right?
Well, I have a feeling that there's going to be a whole lot of CGI in this film.
Well, they can make all three of them in the same stagecraft set. Just
yeah. And the thing is like with this one, because I think because of the way, one, they have to get their powers. Two, because Sue Storm's powers are all CG. The Human Torch is all CG. The Thing's going to be all CG. And then they might as well just CG Pedro Pascal anyways. He doesn't even have to show up.
They can just CG.
Yeah, they're going to CG him stretching. So,
they should just make an entire CG movie. That's all.
Will he have to keep his mustache if he doesn't have it in Mando? But
they just CG that.
But he does have it in The Last of Us, and then he doesn't have it in Fantastic Four. Like, man, they're getting.
Oh my gosh!
It doesn't take that long to grow a mustache.
Maybe it does if you're Hispanic.
Well, they didn't let Superman cut his.
It does.
No, they just put makeup over it, like Cesar Romero, because it was in his contract that he was not shaving.
What? Really?
Also, that last Fantastic Four movie with all the young actors, that was, I believe, made here in Vancouver. So maybe they still have some props and like the Fantastic car here hidden in the warehouse that they could just paint them up again, and like Hasbro does.
Now, I read this thing about like these contracts and stuff like that people do. They hide these like little intricate little things in their contracts. Just
only blue M&Ms.
Reading them, yeah, like the M&Ms, all one color or something like that. But that's more for like bands, right?
Well, I need all the yellow Skittles picked out. I don't really like the yellow ones that much.
Yeah, John has these demands. I can't have yellow Skittles in the green room.
You got to take all the yellow ones out. It's not. I like every other flavor except the yellow ones, so they got to pick those out. But you can't touch all the other ones because I don't want people's hands all over my food.
No,
if Doom turns up, it will be an introduction at the end of the movie. No way they waste that big character doing an origin story.
Well, Doom has to be in it because he gets his powers kind of the same way as the other guys.
And he's their
depending on which origin you really want to look at.
So,
depending on which origin you want to look at, they've done like 2 or 3 different origins now.
Well, I'd say the one that's from the comics.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they tie the Fantastic Four in to everybody else, right? Like, what's the crossover event that's going to bring them together to go up against Kang?
It'll be Deadpool.
Yeah,
the Deadpool movie is going to break the MCU, and I'm not going to say it's all going to become like that fourth person kind of thing, like She-Hulk and Deadpool like to do. But from what I'm seeing and watching, like all like the new media rock stars and all those guys that find every little Easter egg they can find and stuff like that, and all these trailers, I think we're going to be blown away. It's going to be, I think, the most entertaining Marvel Cinematic Universe movie, because it will have fun to it, and it will have like swear words and things that adults like me like, but it's going to be humorous too. Like, we know the Ryan Reynolds, what he can bring to these movies. I think it's going to be good, man. I think that's how we're going to get to see the X-Men, the Fantastic Four. However,
I think what would really
up as a CGI Hulk from those movies with Liv Tyler. Like, I think there's gonna be a lot.
I think what would really blow everybody's mind is if Deadpool opens a portal and in steps Jedi Luke Skywalker with a big ass green lightsaber, and he's like, "Oh my!" Deadpool will look at the screen and be like, "See, we blew you away by bringing in Mark Hamill."
See, man, I wouldn't count something like that out, like just for a stupid cameo, and then that dimension closes forever.
That would be like an end credits deal. I think if they do something like that would be hilarious.
He's going to be like, okay, now everybody in the audience clap and scream, because this is
remember how the Deadpool 2 ended and it's his end credits, right? Where again he broke that fourth dimension.
Was that the Ferris Bueller?
He came on and he went and killed the original Deadpool, like Ryan Reynolds, in just a the costume of makeup and scars.
Oh, was
or,
that
Weapon
was part
X,
one?
whatever he was called.
Part one the
or what?
Was
Weapon
part one
11?
the Ferris Bueller ending?
Maybe, but I mean, this ending is how we're going into the new Deadpool, where we see he's at the TVA where Loki took place and stuff. So yeah, man, it's going to be interesting. It's not what I expected at all. TVA. Even though a bunch of stuff was spoiled, where people took pictures of the set of Hugh Jackman and other characters.
Deadpool's at the TVA,
and certain. Yeah, you didn't see him get recruited by the TVA.
You didn't watch it. It's like all in the TVA, the whole trailer.
John didn't watch it.
No, I haven't watched any.
But like I said, all those things that got leaked over the past year of the filming of it, it still surprised me when that trailer came out and boom, we're like at the TVA, and I'm like, whoa, this is not what I expected. So I think
knowing Ryan Reynolds, how do you know some of those leaks weren't deliberate?
Yeah, the trailer is just like
fake. Yeah, and totally fake. No, but
I guess what
they're not allowed to do that anymore, right?
There was no TVA stuff in the leaks.
You know what I think would be really hilarious is if the movie opens up and Hugh Jackman walks in and sits down and pours himself a bottle of Ryan Reynolds gin, and Deadpool just comes in and they sit down and start drinking gin, and then they have a conversation about how good the telephone company is, and that's the whole movie.
I can almost guarantee that
maybe they do their own Mint Mobile commercial.
Yeah, Mint Mobile. It's just a Mint Mobile commercial with
Aviation Gin will be in the movie. I can almost guarantee it.
Who?
Aviation Gin. That's his gin.
Isn't it? Of course it is going to be, yeah. And they're all going to be using Mint Mobile devices, yeah.
And John, I'm all caught up on that Band of Brothers war bomber airplane show. I'm just waiting for your grandpa to be in his episode.
He died.
But he's in one of the episodes, it says.
Yeah, but he died.
Don't spoil it. But it's a good show, man. I really enjoy. I hate to say I enjoy war movies, but
Dan?
I enjoy high budget, well-made war movies, I guess is a good way of putting it.
Yeah.
That's my title.
What's that? What's the fifth place co-hosting rank? What's that about?
That's what I put on my name.
Oh,
wanted to get it on the.
He's playing the game. Yeah.
Yeah. What if Barbie and Ken show up?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah, and Deadpool's had like Wolverine action figures in the movies before, and just fun little Easter eggs and cameos. And people were pointing out all these Easter eggs in the trailer, right? Like, because a lot of those characters at his little birthday party or whatever it was, Wade's birthday party, I thought half of them were dead. Like, so I'm even more confused.
Dead.
Can you imagine?
Well, some of them are dead in real life, too, right? One of them for sure is dead in real life.
Jonathan, I just want you to know that all of the Madam Web figures are probably end up in stores next week, and I'm talking about Ross. They'll all end up at Ross and
Ross. Yeah, they will.
Like how long?
They probably made 20 figures for that damn movie,
and they're like, these are going to be the new Eternals figures.
Yeah.
Wow. How long ago did that Star Trek actress pass away?
Which one, Kirstie Alley?
No, the actual Star Trek actress, not Cheers actress.
You mean Uhura?
Lieutenant Uhura.
Nichelle Nichols? She only just recently passed away, right? Wasn't it?
A couple of years.
Was it a couple of years now?
Okay. I think before COVID and everything. But she's in this movie and she's not with us anymore, right? That's her playing that character, correct? The blind roommate. Isn't that Nichelle Nichols?
In which movie?
I don't think so.
The
Deadpool.
African-American 75-year-old actress woman from Star Trek, Michelle Nichols, passed away, is what I'm saying. And they must have filmed that several years ago.
You're talking about in the Madam Web movie?
No, in Deadpool. He's saying, you know the lady that he goes to visit across in the apartment across the street.
That's
and
his roommate.
Sitting there with baby feet. Yeah.
No, what movie is that in?
But that's not Nichelle Nichols.
Deadpool 1 and 2. I thought it was.
No, I don't think that's Nichelle Nichols.
Oh my God, man. We're all such nerds.
We're nerds who know nothing.
Hold on. I'll look it up for you.
Because you're right, I think she's dead, but I don't think that was her. I don't know.
Yes, she was in Deadpool.
Oh, that was her?
Neighbor?
Leslie.
Oh no, it wasn't. It just says
Um,
she's often mistaken as her because she looks like her.
Yeah, because I was like, I thought that Nichelle Nichols had great, like really gray hair, but I don't know.
Excuse my ignorance. She's Leslie Uggams is 79.
This is why this is
This is why we have Google.
Instilling is that's what another more proof that Fantastic Four will not be taking place in the 60s.
Bet me. Make a bet, Vern.
What?
It's more than obvious.
Oh, you want to bet? I bet if I win, you shave your beard.
No,
I've already.
Oh, you're already.
I'm convinced there's no face under that part.
See. It's just a big hole.
All right.
Yeah, it's just a big hole. Yeah.
Want to do this creator spotlight? Let's see.
Sure.
Let me get his link here really quick.
Did anyone order that Spider Bro or Spider Guy or whatever it's called from Amazon?
No.
With a spider. Oh, that figure. I don't know anything about that company and if they're actually if it's actually like gonna not fall apart.
Oh, it'll fall apart. It's probably made of like plasticine and a rubber bands. I don't know. It's just a bootleg action figure company.
So this guy right here is on Instagram. He's got about 2,700 followers. He has quite a few Marvel
Spider-Man
pictures. Does some action figure photography. Here's some that I pulled. I like the
Punisher van.
He's actually using some like some practical effects here with those explosions because I think that's all a cotton ball.
Yeah, that's like foam and cotton balls. Yeah.
I think it looks pretty good.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty good.
Yep, getting run over.
And he's making use of that one Marvel Legend. Oh no, there's like how many Marvel Legends have their mouths open like that? Like 2 in one photo.
Yeah, so
but it looks good. Like he found a purpose for those Marvel heads.
Yes.
Getting run over and running over a guy. That's the 2 uses for that mouth.
Yeah,
these are great.
Wow, that Batman's awesome.
I want that van. I want to know more about that van. Is it a bread
car?
This
is the thing too. I want to know about that van now too because
is that an early prototype of the bread car?
You know what it could be though? It could just be like a smaller van.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be a 6-inch. It could be a 3 3/4.
Used perspective.
Yeah.
There's a 6-inch figure in there though, and I don't think he's photoshopping.
Is that a 6-inch figure or is that the smaller?
It looks like the Mezco one.
It could be a 3 3/4 inch. He's just.
I have 3 different 3 3/4 ones, and that's not any of the ones I have.
Oh, okay. Well,
I don't know of any big vans either. Like
I don't either. So that's why I was like, oh, maybe.
Well, we'll have to get him on and ask him. That's all there's to it.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
we'll be like, Rick was arguing all night long that it was.
I did ask Mr. Steve if he wanted to come on, and he responded to me and gave me the email to Hasbro PR and told me to reach out through them.
No, he didn't. Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Really?
I'm sure that it's because like now that he's taken over. Whatever, he's probably got to like, well, if this is like an official thing, maybe they'll pay him for his time too. You know what I mean? Like if they say,
they've done 2 different ones, Connor.
What?
They've done 2 different Fireflies so far, and none of them have come over to the EU. So he can't get it. That's what he's saying.
Oh,
Connor can't get Firefly because it's not available.
That's the ninja guy, right?
He's not a ninja.
Firefly.
Connor.
Yeah, he's not a ninja.
Connor actually sent me the
from the Aragan clan or whatever, and he's not a ninja?
He's not a Aragan clan or whatever the hell you're saying, guy.
Okay, I thought
he's just an assassin. He's just an assassin hired by Cobra that uses tech.
Okay. I thought you knew karate and used ninja swords.
I don't know. No. But I wanted to thank Connor for sending me this casket of cruelty. I haven't had a chance to get in there and mess around with it yet, but I think it's going to be pretty cool. It's going to go right next to my guillotine, all that stuff, because it looks pretty bloody.
That's a Mezco Punisher. Rick was right.
Oh
wait, you don't want to put Jonathan's comment up, do you?
What?
It says Storm Shadow is a Cobra's ninja master.
Yeah, Storm Shadow is,
That was
not
Firefly.
Firefly.
Oh, sorry, man.
Firefly's the saboteur.
So that
Yeah.
Punisher is the Mezco one, which is a 6-inch, the 112 or whatever.
Yeah, with the soft goods.
Where is that van from?
I don't know. Did that?
Well, he could have just made a van. Can't he? I mean, look at all the stuff he's making. That could be made out of cotton balls, for all we know.
It realistically,
I think it is cotton balls, John. You got it.
Front of a car.
Spare tire.
Yeah.
Well, the spare tires on the grill. You could see the grill down here around the lower lights.
What the heck are you doing?
And it looks like it has like a roof rack or something too. It's cool.
What the heck is he doing?
It's raining.
Your next outdoor.
Yeah, it might be like a radio control one that he's painted matte black.
Is that a baby stroller? With a
No, it's his golf bag stroller.
I was going to say the same thing, Jonathan. I think it's an RC car.
It could be an RC car. And then because I took that one RC and I turned it into that little charger or whatever, so you can just put your own seats and stuff in there. Could be that $30 thing that they had at like Ross too, over the holidays.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's a Fortnite van. That's what it is.
Fortnite doesn't make a van that big though.
The TV? No, it's more 3 3/4 scale, but
the only van that I know of that was big enough that I could fit that 6-inch figures was that Scooby-Doo van, that one where you push on the front and it.
What about all those vehicles they make for the wrestling guys? They had like a semi truck once. Remember that big ass
Slambulance it's called.
Yeah, they made a freaking semi truck that was 6-inch scale.
Just get a Slambulance and paint it black.
Oh, it could have been.
Only take pictures from the front, from down low.
You know what? You're right, Rick. Let me look that.
Slambulance different.
Sometimes it actually happens, Vern, where I am right. Sometimes.
Once
every 10 times. So that's why I say 11 things to be sure to get once right. What's going on, Lack Attack? Lack got freaking married.
I know.
I didn't even know he was single.
Well, he's not. He got married.
Congrats, Lack. Well, no, I thought he was
congratulations,
already married.
Sir.
Spoiler alert.
That is really kind of cool. I can't find the ambulance. I don't know who makes it. Is that Jazzer Wazzer?
Slambulance. You're spelling it
It
wrong.
was Mattel, wasn't it?
Mattel Slambulance.
Yeah, but it's not that one.
It came with that big bearded guy.
It doesn't look. The front end doesn't look anything like it.
And then they made it, a semi-trailer looking rig thing.
Yeah, they got a semi truck. They got
got a solid girl with the WW symbol on it.
Oh my gosh, man! Did I really miss this thing? Oh, check this out. Looking for an ambulance, by the way.
You have to type in Slambulance, not ambulance.
Yeah, ours. I remember those ending up on clearance. They were.
Oh, that was like a VW one. I've never been
That's what I'm saying. It's pretty cool. It's like
got a freaking basket for basketball in it.
No, there's a Ninja Turtle man, if you ask me. It's more the Volkswagen bus than it is like a Chevy 350. You know what I mean?
That's not bad. $40.
It's only
man right there.
$40.
A driver. You get this little basket that you can do something with.
It's not accurate, but it's cool. Like it's accurate enough that you get the look of a V-dub.
That is pretty cool. $40 for a 6-inch vehicle?
Yeah, it looks like it.
And
it comes with like Hasbro made that, it would have been $350.
Like, what, are you just trying to throw people in the basket? That looks like
look at how low the dude is in here too.
Well, how big's that figure? It's a lowrider.
That would have been $350 worth of Hasbro.
I wouldn't feel safe in that.
Only a Surfer Boy pizza.
8 inches high, yeah. So you know what? We're gonna have to let that ramen dude know that
it can't be 17 wide and 15 long. Then it would not be that shape.
15 inches long, 17 inches wide, and 15 inches long.
That's big, man. That's bigger than like the Hellblazer, and
it's 17 inches.
That's huge,
wide by 15 inches long.
Yeah, it's a big fat wide van. What if you get it and it is all distorted like that?
Make it a HasLab.
And they meant centimeters, and it's actually this big.
Northern Nomads here. G-Force. Ice cream truck, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, do you think they released a Deadpool like from that clip too? Again, there was stuff posted in the making of the movie, but it looks like a caravan of a bunch of different vehicles. One of those vehicles, spoiler, is the Fantastic Car. I didn't say that, did I? And one of them's the ice cream van from Moon Knight, right? Remember Moon Knight had the ice cream van scene going on? So yeah, Deadpool's converging all these movies together. So yeah, we might see the Moon Knight actor guy, and the Fantastic Four vehicle being in that show, kind of.
So you know what would be interesting about the Fantastic? You're saying the Fantastic Four vehicles in there. If the Fantastic Four shows up, if it's a completely different version of the Fantastic Four we haven't seen, and Krasinski or whatever is Mr. Fantastic with his team,
right? Totally with like Tom Green and like all guys from Saturday Night Live and just weird characters. It'd be fun to see.
Tom Green in the Fantastic. Who would he play?
Why would you want?
Who is he? Is he the Human Torch?
The dog van from Dumb and Dumber, is that in the trailer?
Oh, no, I didn't see that one.
Oh, where he was like
the big tongue.
Was the original Batmobile in there?
No, it was.
If you do this, it makes you feel like you're running really fast.
The only two that I think are like MCU are the ice cream one from Moonraker and the new fantastic looking car vehicle. The other ones are more Mad Maxy looking that you actually see in the trailer where that some guy has a big radar dish, and that big radar dish is being worked by the Canada arm, which is from the space shuttle, the world famous Canada arm that Canada, made for NASA. It's on that road rage.
A lot of national pride up there.
I know. He's for this just stupid
what
little
else
arm.
Is to do in Canada but have national pride?
I'm gonna actually look that up because I think that's a conspiracy theory that Canada built this arm. I think they outsourced it.
It's a Lego arm.
I think it was built in another place and then Canada just imported
by
it.
Canadian people.
You know how that works, right? Like stuff gets made in one country and then gets sent to one of these countries like the US or Mexico or Canada or whatever. And then what they do is like they might assemble it or they might put like light fixtures on. Then they say, oh, assembled in or made in, and then they use that NAFTA or whatever.
Oh crap!
These are 100% made and assembled in Canada.
I just looked it up. It's actually called the Canadarm.
Yeah,
because it's a robotic arm designed by the Canadian Space Agency and given to NASA and installed on all space shuttle orbiters. And now there's one even on the space station.
So honestly, of you three people right here in this panel, you guys have heard of the Canada arm, right?
No, because I'm
not till just now.
When
really, like these are things we learned in school, like
because you live in Canada.
I know, but I mean, we also learned the space shuttle shit that was built in America.
You know what we learned in school? We learned about like
they didn't
important
block
historical
us from learning
events.
International news. Like it's like you guys in the States were like blocked from learning other things that weren't American.
Yeah, we were. You know why? Because like we had to learn a bunch of other stuff where they didn't spend like 8 hours teaching us about one part of a space shuttle. We learned about maybe the entire space shuttle program, but not necessarily like. Did you guys know that Joe Smith built the window that went halfway back in the shuttle bay and was developed in
the Canada arm is freaking famous, man. Everyone knows. There's no toy shuttle without it. Like it's Canada arm.
You guys had a whole semester about this arm.
This arm. It's one class.
Our last 3 years of
Canada arm class.
Yeah. No, but we also watched that space shuttle blow up live at school. Like that's why we watched.
You know what I learned? One of the things I learned in high school was how to jump out the window when the teacher was talking, so I could go home halfway through the day.
You know what I remember? They took us out. We were supposed to learn about this arm on the space shuttle, but then they said, no, there's a bus evacuation drill that we had to participate in. We had to go learn how to jump out of a bus.
They have drills, right?
Yeah.
I remember we were about to, and then we didn't get a chance.
Dan knows.
Dan knows everything. That's why he sits up there. Like
that's why we have to love.
Just gonna let these guys talk themselves into a hole.
We have to love Ryan Reynolds and Tom Green and the Canada Arm.
It's right up there with their most famous actors. The Canada Arm.
Oh,
Anne Murray. Like everyone has to love her.
That was invented in Canada also.
Who invented the space toilet? Probably an American.
I remember James.
Yeah, it was an atomic bomb duck and cover drill.
Do you remember? Do you think there was actually a time where they felt like if you hide under a crappy wooden desk, you're gonna survive this massive explosion?
No,
or do you think that whole thing is?
It was designed to make an illusion of safety so that you wouldn't panic. Yeah.
No, those were actual, like, I need to fact check this, but if I remember right, those were drills because they didn't understand what exactly it was capable of doing. So they were just thinking shelter in place. They didn't know what the bomb was capable of doing. So
I remember earthquake drills were like go under desk during an earthquake, like
that makes sense because if
it did happen. Those things did happen.
Falling on you, at least the wooden desk might prevent it from like
completely
hitting you at like 9.87 meters per second as it's falling, right?
Like I know earthquakes have happened in my lifetime and I've felt them, like kind of thing, but not in school. Usually it was at home once or twice and it was small, but
really
I haven't had to deal with, thankfully, deal with that in my lifetime and hopefully never will. But
do you guys think that the earth is alive?
Of course it is.
Well, underneath the flat part it is.
Like it's a sentient being.
Did you know
that has intelligence like you and I?
Did you see Ice Cube Jr. calling me an MFer last week on Twitter because he made a comment about Godzilla not breathing left or whatever, just a stupid geeky comment about things that aren't real. And I made a comment. I'm like, dude, it's fantasy, man. Like he can breathe.
You can't say that.
Whatever. And then he's like, you MFer this, and I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, you can't say that. No, it's just because I was up at the house. I was up at the house over the weekend, and my mom was talking about the last couple earthquakes that we had, and she said that straight-faced, completely like serious, said, I can't believe all these earthquakes we're having. I think the earth is finally done with us. They're trying to shake us off the planet. And I said, the earth isn't alive, Mom. It's just a planet. It's a bunch of rock and liquid magma with a core. And she looked at me like I was completely insane. And then she's like, no, it's alive, John. It has a brain and it knows what's going on.
It's tired.
The Earth is talking in this movie that's on YouTube.
Okay.
That looks like Canadian animation.
It's not a sentient being.
Well, rock. I'm just a bill.
John, so did you tell your mom she was wrong?
No, I just left. I left the room.
You were like,
he hasn't talked to her
conversation.
I just
moms know.
Chief person's like Mother Nature.
Did she tell you? Have you not seen? There's a hot miser and a cold miser to regulate the weather.
I'm Mr. Cold Miser.
It's all written for us in those Farmer's Almanac. All they got to do is adjust the weather.
It's amazing how accurate
it's all planned. It's all scripted.
But she said that the Earth is
scripted.
She said that the Earth is trying to shake us off, like a dog shakes to get fleas off of it, or water.
Earthquakes.
Yeah, we have earthquakes because the Earth is trying to shake us off the planet.
Are you saying Canadians are like fleas?
Who has actually? So Rick's saying he's never actually experienced a real earthquake, like maybe a few shakes here and there. Yeah. Who has actually ridden through like a really big quake?
I flew through one.
Yeah, that's not the same because you don't feel.
I landed in Seattle right after that. I was the last plane allowed to land when that earthquake happened.
I remember
you have to have seen some aftershocks or something at some point.
When I lived in Northern California, that big earthquake during the I think it was '89 or whatever, it was a World Series.
One, yeah.
89, 90, that big one.
Yeah.
I was home, and the first thing was like, oh, my mom's china cabinet was rocking with all her like really nice china, and I was like, I better go hold that up.
Oh, so that's a good idea.
Imagine how many of your Marvel Legends would have fallen over back then.
And I went up there and I put my hands on it. And I was like, this is not the right place to be.
Holding up glass.
Oh, dang. Black.
And wow. He was in
we were far away from it. And then I was living with my brother during that Northridge quake, and about like 30 miles north of Northridge. And the I-14, which I would take to go to where I worked, collapsed that morning. So luckily I was still asleep when it happened, but
yeah, that's harsh.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I've never seen mass destruction like that. Like you see it in the news and stuff like that from other parts of the world usually. Yeah. But you're in a state where you guys had massive earthquakes, and John being in Florida, but I mean some states get all the tornadoes and stuff all the time, and
I saw entire trees fly away during that hurricane.
You guys have dinosaurs, for frick's sakes, man. Like literally, like you can walk out the street and get eaten by a freaking alligator.
Ron has the windows that can stop a 250-mile-per-hour tree hurtling right into
as a spear, like a spear, right at you.
A Sharknado, though.
I think
when we had that hurricane a few years ago, I saw 2 of those big ass trees in the back get blown completely away.
That's insane,
I think if you ever see a tree flying towards your window like a spear, you just pull out your camera. Don't move. Just film.
Just go viral. Film. Yeah. I'll show you how strong. I'll be like sitting there going, I'm showing a show, Vern, how strong these windows are.
You can live stream vertical now on YouTube, so I think you just live stream it right there.
Yeah, right there.
You know what else is a natural nature effect?
No, and the other thing too is like he's right. When I landed in Seattle after that earthquake, and my friend and I were out driving around looking at all the damage, we went to the mall, and what was really this is the most surreal thing, because the mall was still intact, but the north side of the mall had lifted by about 2 feet, so there was a crack in the mall, and it was just up there. So you see, look at the ceiling, and it went like that. And like when we walked inside, there was a step. You had to step up to get to the other half of the mall. You know what I mean? It was so strange.
Was open?
Yeah, they still had it open, and you could go shopping. Sears was cut in half, and you could go shopping there still.
Wow.
What's amazing to me is that they somehow fixed it all without like tearing the building down. I was like, what the heck? Like,
that's insane.
They just redid the floor, and the ceiling, so it was level again.
It wasn't from an earthquake, but we had a shopping center here in Vancouver where like above the main grocery store was like the parking lot. So like, above the thing was parking, and it literally fell onto the main floor of the store, and people did die, but it wasn't even from an earthquake. It was just for whatever poor construction.
Yeah.
Or something.
That happened down a bridge did that down here. That's why I'm scared. Like after I saw the bridge that did that down here, like one of the bridges just broke while everyone was stuck at a stoplight. So everyone who was under the bridge got pancaked underneath it, and they all died. I mean, some of the cars were like this thick because of that,
Full size.
So they just got completely crushed. Yeah. So every time I'm at a stoplight and I end up getting stopped under a bridge, and the freeway's driving over me, I'm going, oh God, don't fall down while I'm
move
here.
Ahead 4 feet. Yeah.
I gotta move.
Yeah, I'm trying to like inch my way out, get over.
Oh, that was pretty upbeat. Vern, how about those new releases?
Yeah. How did we get on that subject?
There's only
Rick drags the subject to like the weirdest stuff.
Mothman, yeah, Monkey's got it. It's Mothman. Yeah.
That was a good movie.
All right, anyways, this is the hot or not section. And this week, the hot is red and the not
is cold.
Like ice. And these will be the toys that are being peddled to us this week as we go through these action figure reveals or photos that showed up on the internet. And we're going to talk about them and decide whether or not one day they're going to be in your collection or one day they will be at Ross for $5.99.
Well, they might end up in my collection if they end up at Ross, because that's when I buy a lot of this stuff.
So anyways, the first one is Super 7, right?
Strongheart.
Yeah. Oh no, NECA. NECA's just making these in the retro colors now. These Dungeons and Dragons figures.
Man, yeah. Did you see the dwarf?
So these are like 7-inch, right? Like 7-inch figures.
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay, so obviously this is just to compete with Mythic Legions. And these sort of capitalize on Dungeons and Dragons, right?
Well, maybe not NECA form, but in the original vintage toy line.
I have most of these in the vintage line.
Yeah, I just think it's cool that they redid these in the retro colors.
Yeah.
So who's getting these? Rick's getting them all.
I would like to, but because they're NECA, no.
And maybe the dwarf, because I still have my little dwarf, I think.
I don't buy NECA products because they're cheap ass pieces of shit. So I don't buy them. I will not support the company.
Like 37
Tell us how you really feel about them.
I will not support a company. I will not support a company that when you open them, they break in half.
Do you ever hear about like
NECA figure break?
You know, like in high school, play sports, they send scouts over and stuff like that. Well, today in the audience, we have a scout from NECA here to decide who is going to be sponsoring their toy company.
Is his name Nightbot?
And it's not John.
Every single NECA figure I own is broke, except for one. Godzilla is the only one that hasn't broke.
Well,
I stopped buying them.
Right.
I thought it was NECA, but then I realized now it's just Dino.
And I didn't even break them.
Every brand, Dino can break any brand of toy, not just NECA.
Some of them have broke from standing on the shelf. Some of them have just been standing on the shelf, and I wake up one day and they're falling over, and their ankles are still, their feet are still in the foot pegs on the display, so the ankle just broke from standing there, not even being touched.
Honest question, John. How many of your, and Vern, because I know you got them, how many of your Hasbro Dungeon and Dragon figures broke? Or are broken? Or have broken?
One broke.
So I actually...
none?
No, so what happened was with Hank, when I was bending the leg for the first time, I saw the stress on the plastic, so I stopped, and then I went and I heated it up before I continued. So it never broke, but there's a stress mark in the one. Yeah.
So you pre-broke it, but didn't break it? You almost broke it.
I almost
There's
broke
a lot that were, there's a lot of those that broke, though.
Normally I would just continue and do it, but I got it on clearance. I didn't think I was going to get another one, so...
And I think part of that was the way they were packaged. Just they were wrapped in toilet paper, like some nice tissue here.
I don't think it had anything to do with the packaging. I just think it was just really crappy.
That was poor quality control on that one. Yeah.
I think the guys they were like, "Hey, let's just get these out. Just throw them in the box.
Wrap them in tissue first."
Okay, you guys can go home. Let's see. I don't have to ask Dan because he says they are not hot, so they are freezing cold. Jonathan Redmond says they look good. G4 says it's the sparkle cape like the original.
Yeah.
They look great. I think they're awesome. They look fantastic.
They do look good. I'm not going to get them. I could just look at the picture. Yeah. All right. What about these McFarlane? This is
again, they look cool, but I just can't buy all these toys.
So this digital thing are these digital action figures?
No, what it is you buy these 3 actual figures from the DC Direct line. So this is not McFarlane Master Multiverse or whatever he calls his DC line. These are DC Direct, which is what they used to be, but back in the 7-inch scale again. But no, the digital aspect of it is you get it. There's a digital version of the figure as well, which to me is like a JPEG or a rotating MPEG. And you get you can build a digital figure, which is a brand new stupid thing that he came up with. So
it's a build a figure, build a digital
build a fake figure.
A brand new stupid thing that he's coming.
Listen, let me tell you where I think that would be super cool, right? Like if the digital figure you get was one of these that was a different kind of not like a JPEG or whatever, but was whatever program that you could use in like an animation type program. Like if it came designed like, I don't know that much about.
You could pose it.
Where you could like pose it or animate it in that program. and you didn't have to build it from scratch, because there are programs where you can like upload a picture, then you add like the bones and stuff like that, and then you just do the frames. And you
to be totally honest, I have no idea what a digital action figure is. Like, he's kind of the first guy to be doing this.
I don't think anybody knows what a digital action figure is.
No.
So it's like he could just say, no, you got it. And like you just have to take his word for it.
But yeah, it's without it being an NFT, it's like an NFT. So I've seen Todd talk about them, and he encourages people to trade them, and
so like
so there is like an aftermarket for not real action figures as well, apparently.
All right, see you, Connor. So the one you get is yours, and nobody else has another one like it.
Like any other company?
Eventually, your digital action figure gets all banged up and scratched. Then it's like, oh, look at this one's like, like
used.
Yeah, okay, I don't get it. Let's just.
I don't get it either.
Yeah,
but
no.
He's the one toy company that seems to put out new toys weekly,
right?
Literally, like, and this will be in the store like on Monday. Watch, like,
yeah,
it's just weird.
So does Green Lantern come with all those airplanes?
I hope so.
I know. I mean, and does Batman come with that little thing to stand on?
Yeah, and Aquaman comes with a whole bunch of water.
Like, I'm not.
You know what? It could.
His bubble is full of water.
No, there's actually going to be a packet inside the box. It's freeze-dried water, and what you do is you put it in a bowl and you add water.
Oh, okay.
If they weren't 7 inches tall, and he learned what every other toy company does with pinless knees and elbows, then I think this would be one of the more popular toy lines. Like, I know it's popular. People love Batman and everything to do with Batman, but Green Lantern too. Like, I guarantee Gary bought the Green Lantern. I know Daniel from Action Figure Insider bought the Aquaman because that's their characters. Those guys love those characters. But pins,
but McFarlane is catching up.
Terrible.
They're more popular than you think.
These things.
If they were 6-inch action figures, I'd have many more in my collection.
I think I would too. It's like he's one of the first guys to ever make modern action figures, but he's the last to go in the pinless joints. Like,
yeah, that part doesn't necessarily
Classified figured it out. I think Power Rangers even figured it out.
Yeah, but Power Rangers like do that jiggle and stuff like that. I don't think the pinless bothers me at all. I think that the scaling of it bothers me a lot.
It bothers me. Like, you can tell that sometimes when he takes his photos, he purposely hides the pin so you can't see it in the photos. Like, and then people get it and they're surprised. Like, oh my God, that pin is 3 inches wide. Like,
yeah, they should not be surprised.
It's an older tech that Mego started in the 70s. They should just get over that tech. Like, it's past. It's not.
Let me see. Hold on.
You don't need it anymore.
I'm gonna test your theory.
We don't have to test it. Just listen to my age and my knowledge. And a guy who's a big prominent guy who hates pinless joints has them tattooed on his joints. Go figure.
Can't see you very.
Yeah, that's because Dan keeps putting the things. Look at that pinned joint. Not developed by Mego in the 70s.
Who what? I don't know what you're showing us.
Oh, he's showing us a Hasbro
GI Joe with pinned joints.
Guy.
The very first action figure had pin joints.
I think Barbie might have been the first.
Did Barbie have any joints?
No, I don't think it had any joints.
All right. Anyway,
didn't she have a rubber coating over her?
Eventually, like Ken or Steve Austin did.
Yeah.
All right.
No, but I wouldn't be surprised if Hasbro doesn't change their tune. McFarlane Toys is going to overcome Hasbro financially in the next year, because they were very close when we had our Lego the last meeting. I mean, it was very within like $100,000 or so. Hasbro was almost number 4. You know,
he does pretty well because besides Spin Master, he's the only North American, toy company producing Batman toys. So
yeah, but Batman
that's pretty good. Like,
are those the only two?
I can't think of any other ones. Maybe the SH Fig Arts and Asia
Mego.
make Batman's.
Mego.
Yeah, Hot Toys makes them.
But nobody
they're-
buys Migos. You know what I mean?
Well, just because you
Yeah.
don't buy them doesn't mean nobody buys them.
No, like they're not even sold in other countries that aren't America. Like that's
That's
a little
because
demand
they
or-
know that you really want them in Canada, but we're not letting you have them.
I don't get the Migo guy. He went bankrupt and then he came back with the same name.
Is
don't think
anybody
that's
excited
allowed.
about this reveal?
No.
Dan,
the
I can
millennials
see
love
the
it.
excitement up there.
Man,
Did they pipeline reveal this one?
I don't know. Some people say they did, but I don't know.
Not as a 3D render though, just as pictures of characters from a video game.
Okay, so that went straight from pictures of characters to putting
Found in a warehouse in Asia.
Al Kestis' head on the fifth brother, repainting the Purge Trooper, and repainting the second sister.
Well, this is a real photo. This is
this is
production made product.
This
it's in someone's hands. Yeah,
or early prototype. This is real.
This was in someone's hands. Yeah.
All right. There's a lot
but
of
no one's gonna. There's not a lot of people who will want this. I think.
Yeah. Nobody here.
Sir Eric and all the 20-year-olds will buy it. All the 30-year-olds.
Probably, depending on how much if this thing's like $80, no way.
If it ends up at Ross for $15, I'm gonna buy it.
Yeah.
Even at Ross for $15, I don't
extra second sisters or whatever. And
I'll buy it. Yeah, when it shows up at Ross, I'll buy it. Yeah.
All right. And what about the vintage collection, Ahsoka and the droids?
The droids are cool.
Yeah, I like the
droids.
droids.
Are these anyways?
Do you like droids?
Don't need any Ahsokas at all. But
are these Ahsoka's droids, John?
Do you remember they went on that adventure together? Remember she signed? I remember the two on the right more than the little round dome chopper droid. I actually don't remember him as well. But in one of the episodes of the cartoon, those two on the right went and did an adventure. I remember it.
Yeah, I like a little short droid. It's just a new head on an existing body, but it's cool. I like Astromechs.
All right.
They just need them in Kenner style. That's all I want.
How much?
$80 though. $80, right?
What?
Yeah.
No, it wasn't $80.
I'm serious.
Oh, how much was it? How much was it? Correct me, Rick.
$69.99 American.
$70. Okay. $70.
Yeah.
Even though when they pre-announced this, they said they were going to be $64.99, and then Amazon made them $69.99. So even Hasbro doesn't know what their stuff goes for at retail.
They don't.
Yeah, they don't. They have no clue.
Which is weird because they kind of set the price, really.
No,
but they don't.
But I think this will get marked down though.
When they
it might already be marked down. Like
I guess when they
not even
announced
available in Canada yet.
I guess when they announced this, prices were lower.
Was that 2 weeks ago?
All right. Anyways, did you guys see this? This is the Funworks.
Really?
Sports car.
It's Fun Woods, Vern. Learn
Fun Woods.
American.
I didn't understand why you were putting this up because this has been out since the 80s. Like, what do you?
So what I'm saying is, like, on their website, this Fun Woods India says that you can get this car supposedly in different sizes and there's different colors. There's like the yellow one, a gray one, or whatever.
Yeah, there's a blue one, blue and white.
They're different size too.
Yeah,
they've
different sizes, and
they've been making. So this is actually scaled for 6-inch figures.
Well,
that I didn't know.
Sizes, so you might be able to get one scaled for a 6-inch figure, where you could really increase your vamp like lineup.
Yeah, because I know they used to make them. I mean, for they basically got the mold to the vamp a long time ago, like the 80s one, and they've been making those 3.75-inch scale ones in blue, red, tan, gray, like all these black, like all these different colors since the 80s. You could have bought them back then. You can still buy them today. Well, and they're around $30.
Okay,
US,
I sent the company an email asking them where can I find them and what sizes do they come in, so I can get more information. So once I hear something, I'll make sure.
Did you say they were in Indonesia or India?
India.
Yeah.
Fun.
They're under the Fun. There's some under the Fun School label. They're in the back of the day. They were under the Fun School label.
Yeah, that's why I said Fun School. But thank you, Rick, for correcting me.
Fun Wood now.
It's like they translated wrong. It's weird. Like when you see words like that, like bread car, fun wood,
bread car.
I know he's got his logic behind his things, and now what's it? The CAG, like it stands for like 3 different words that spell CAG.
Well, I mean the guy's trying to.
No, it's fun. I like inventing.
You like
fun
trying
names.
to decipher what everything means?
Yeah, I like inventing fun names for certain names you're not allowed to use. If you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Know what I'm saying?
So the interesting thing about these pictures is, I think there's a lot of like question, right? Do we think these are legit, or do we think these are not legit?
I just have a hard time thinking that they're legit with the packaging already. I mean, why didn't we see a digital render or
they're 100% not legit.
Yeah, the packaging looks weird to me. Like why all of a sudden switch up the packaging design, right? Unless
it's either incomplete package design, like really early stages incomplete package design, and then we brought this up. This is brought into one of our chat rooms, and someone's like, "Oh, you can't make those clamshells. Too much money goes. You can make that clamshell on your kitchen table with a vacuum former. It's not hard to make clamshells. People do it every day at home. Like you can buy the equipment at Michael's. So, but I mean, the cardboard to me looks different. It's thicker. It's warped a little bit in one of them. It has worn edges.
Yeah, that's the thing that bothered me was the worn edges. And then this slaughter here is sitting on top of another figure, which looks like it has the same box style that they're currently using with the warning in the right spot and the age thing in the right spot. And this, they got them down at the bottom, right? Like these totally look like they were mock-ups. And I'm wondering if these
could be mock-ups for sure.
And so what I'm wondering is, if these are being done for like, say, Joe Fest or some sort of like GI Joe thing, where they're going to be some sort of like an exclusive that somebody's selling at their booth.
I'm going to say no. And reason is because Hasbro doesn't go to those fan conventions and sell stuff. And even if they did, I don't think they would sell 38 of these in total in all of America.
No, but I'm not saying that Hasbro is going to sell them. I'm saying some guy has mocked up some. He's going to take them to the convention in his booth. That's the only way to get them. It's like, like those there's the Marauder guys that made the Kurt Russell character like last year or whatever. G-Force has them. I don't remember the name of the guy, but they
Great Iron Studios or some one of those things.
Every year they go to the convention, but they have some sort of an exclusive figure that you can only get at the convention or whatever, and it's an actual exclusive. Like you're only supposed to be able to get it there or whatever. So I'm imagining like there's a GI Joe festival I think that they have up in LA, and every once in a while they do like the mock-ups like Let me find this one because they did Monkey Wrench a year ago or a couple of years ago. Let me see if I can find it.
So a couple of things why I think the packaging is wrong. There's no trademarks, TM, copyright, years, any of those things which are required. And that 4+ blue circle with the 4 in it in black, that's not allowed. It has to be in white or black. It has to be the opposite color, whatever the background is. So you can't try and hide things like that. Like it has to be obvious and usually has to be in white, or if the packaging is black, or if the packaging is white, then it has to be in black. It's important stuff. And some of the textures are printed on there, and it's I don't know, it's weird. And it was taken on like an iPhone -4 in 1975 quality digital photos. So all those things are red flags to me.
But regardless of any of that, I guarantee you all these figures are coming out. I don't care if the packaging is wrong, because we already got the Mad Marauder version of Barbecue.
And that's it, right?
And that's it so far.
Yeah,
but they already have these characters made, so why not repaint them in Mad Marauder paint schemes.
Because they would at least make matching package designs for one thing.
Well, I'm not saying. I'm saying regardless of the packaging, throw the packaging away. These figures will come out at some point.
Because
these figures will come out at some point.
And why would they introduce and I brought this up with you, John, because you are like our G.I. Joe historian within our chat groups. They invented a new bird called Nyal.
Yeah. No,
they took Spirit or Eagle, whatever you want to call them,
and they called them something else.
They made him a different color bird.
Yeah.
But
I don't care about any of that. I'm just saying that even if those are fake, even if those are totally 100% fake, we're still going to get those figures later in the year.
What the heck?
In different packaging, maybe.
Yeah, but
those figures are coming, and so is Mutt and Junkyard as a Mad Marauder, because he's already out. You know.
What is that?
So this is what I'm talking about. So at this Joe Fest, the Southern California Joe Fest, they were selling Monkey Wrench in this packaging at the convention, and basically it's just a custom figure, and it's the motorcycle, right? The Breaker's motorcycle. You know, and then they just made new packaging for it. It's the Southern California Joe Show, and every year they do something like this, right? Where they do like some type of an exclusive type figure. So I started thinking like, yeah, it just seemed weird. Like the packaging on these looked weird. So it made me start thinking like these are going to be like for some sort of a toy show, even if it's at Southern California Fest or if it's going to be Joe Fest, somebody's going to have them at their booth. That's going to be the way that you get these customs basically. And they're just going to charge you like an arm and a leg for them, and people will buy them.
Maybe they'll sell 3 of them.
Yeah, they'll sell like 20 maybe.
Well, it'd be a lot of work to make 20 of these. You'd have to go buy 20 Sergeant Slaughter exclusives with a mini Sergeant Slaughter figure, which I think is expensive, right?
Well, like $30, $35 to get the Sergeant
Slaughter. Is that
Slaughter.
Sergeant Slaughter with the action figure only $30?
Yeah, I think you can get on Amazon for about 34. Then he sells him for $75, $80 at the toy show, and people are going to be like, "Oh, that's super cool because I want the Mad Marauders." It's not really Mad Marauders, right, John? It's Slaughter's Marauders.
Well,
yeah,
no, it wasn't colored blue and green.
But
green is Mad Marauders.
No, they were Slaughter's Marauders back in the day. The Mad was not there back in the day.
Well, back in the day, they did make toys labeled Mad Marauders.
No, they were Slaughter's Marauders.
But
you want me to show you in the book here?
Well, no, we already looked it up in our chat group, and we showed pictures of actual Hasbro toys labeled Mad Marauders in this blue.
No, they were labeled Slaughter's Marauders, not Mad Marauders.
Anyway, Slaughter's Marauders are a different color combo.
No, they're not. See,
just Google it. Just Google it.
I can show you it right here in the book.
But that's not the box 5-pack.
I get what hold on, let me make you a big screen.
Because when those pictures came up, I did a bunch of research to see.
Okay, I'm not going to make you a big screen.
Why they're using this Mad Marauders logo when it's.
No, I get what Jonathan's saying. Like, how can the package match when the previous release was plastic free, right? But I think, like, if you look at, I think what we're saying is, if you look at, say, prior to plastic free, it was like this, and then sort of after plastic free went away and came back, it's sort of the same looking design where they still have the age thing here, the warning up here on different color, right, and stuff like that. And I mean, they did a good job. I think they're like going to be like a toy show deal. That's what I think.
Digging a hole. Mad Marauders and Sergeant Slaughter's Marauders are two different things.
I
Google it. Like, if you don't believe me.
Yeah, I wasn't able to find anything about Mad Marauders. I was able to find Slaughter's Marauders.
Yeah, there's a couple of action figures made with these Mad Marauders logos on them. And
I shared pictures side by sides of. Let me pull it up.
The neon GI Joe era is when those came out.
Hold on, I'm going to pull up my Twitter.
Which is right, late 90s, John, or mid 90s.
The Slaughter's Marauders came out in 1989.
But what about when I said the neon GI Joes?
They did not make a Mad Marauders Neon G.I. Joe thing. They did
Oh my
not.
god! I'm
Okay,
not
so-
going to Google it just to
so-
show you. They did.
So hold on.
Have to Google it to show us
Oh my
because
god!
it's
Look,
not
okay.
true.
So this is Spirit from that box picture versus Slaughter's Marauders. Then if you look at this next one, which is Low Light from Slaughter's Marauders. And then if you look at the Sarge, that is Slaughter's Marauders Sarge, which is the same color scheme as basically the one that they're showing. Oh, here.
There's a YouTube channel, Viper Island.
Yeah. Viper Island?
Yeah, they're saying it's legit.
Okay. Well,
they're advertising their video as confirmed.
Nice. Well, I haven't seen that confirmation yet, but
no,
video. So get this. There's even a video on Zazzle's Clubhouse, which is Sergeant Slaughter's slaughterhouse, and it says in the past they were called Slaughter's Marauders. The modern version is going to be called Mad Marauders. There was no Mad Marauders when we were kids. And Zazzle knows his shit more than anyone else, okay?
So the new name is going to be Mad Marauders. But the vintage ones were Slaughter's Marauders.
Yes.
They would be based on, yeah.
Because this logo is a new logo.
Yes.
Is it the same logo that's being used on the barbecue?
It looks like
that.
Yeah, it is.
Yes, this logo is on the barbecue. That's the first time it was ever used.
Yeah, exactly. That's where if this is a mock-up, if this is a made-up package, that's where they got the Mad Marauder logo from. It's from the barbecue.
Which is weird because this is not what the barbecue package looks like at all.
Who has heard of Niall though for the name of the eagle?
Nobody. It doesn't exist.
It never existed when we were kids. No.
So is that then because they wanted to do that so that they could change the color of the bird? They just made it a different bird.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, Hasbro does own GI Joe, right? They created them, so
they
would be allowed to invent a new character called Niall. And
so I'm sharing Rick's screen, and I can obviously see that he hasn't responded to my last 7 emails.
You can?
I'm just messing with you. Nobody can see what any of those pictures are.
But, well, I don't want like this picture here of this multi-pack here.
Okay, which one?
The one that I'm trying to share to the screen. Is it not sharing? Oh,
I've got you up here, but
but I switched screens and it didn't switch with me. So I saw this multi-pack, which I believe is from the later 90s. It's modern G.I. Joe. And you see the Spirit Iron Knife guy, but there's no bird with him, like eagle called Niall or,
No,
eagle.
yeah.
And you can see the barbecue in camouflage colors, so it does have that blue and the green. But you can see all the kind of characters.
Those are the Renegades. The 3 on the end are the Renegades.
Yeah. And then there's that original logo I remember, right? So this is a Big Bad Toy Store exclusive. They did not have Big Bad Toy Store in like the 80s.
No, but you were saying they were Mad Marauders. I was trying to say
that's what when I first saw this logo and everything being the blue and the green color, I thought, oh well, that's the Mad Marauders logo, but it was just all the characters being in that color, because I'm pretty sure Barbecue was a Marauder before he was a blue and green color, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. Well, he was in the Slaughter's Marauders in 1989. This
but he was also orange at that time, right?
No, I have him. He was in blue.
Okay.
Yeah, he was. I just did a video on him.
So there's a vintage colors, 2 colors.
1989. Yeah, he came out in 1985 in orange, and then 1989 in blue and green.
Now, what about Spirit? Did he come out?
Yeah, in blue and green in 1989.
And then later in that pack I showed you that.
Yeah, that pack's from like 2011 or 2015, maybe. You know what I mean?
And was it ever a comic story, the Marauders? Was it ever in the cartoons?
Not the well, he was in the so The cartoons went up to about 86 or 87, and then they took a break, and then they came back with I think DIC brought them back
Different company,
in
right?
like 89 or something, and there was some Sergeant Slaughter, Marauder, and Renegade stuff in the 89 cartoon, but that 89 cartoon was so bad that it got canceled right away. So most people don't even know it existed.
By Dick, right?
Yeah, DIC.
DIC?
Yeah.
Think
It's drawn really bad. It's
the rights to Sergeant Slaughter.
It's drawn so bad that it's just like almost hard to watch. It's really, really bad.
Would any of you guys buy these sets? Like,
oh, I would. I would totally buy these. Yes.
Well, it depends on how much this 2-pack is. Is it this 2-pack's going to be like $70? No,
yeah, 70. Yeah.
Right. But
you know, a lot of money for.
I don't have Slaughter yet, so I might wait and see what this one turns out to be because he's got a lot of little extras. But if it turns out to be if it's 35 like that,
the dumbbell is from that Balboa figure. That's
no,
because
but is this a 60-pound or a 90-pound?
I know you can't.
It's definitely not a 60-pound.
It's an 06-pound. It's an 06-pound.
Right. Is it a 6-pound or a 90-pound? But anyways, like this is a lot more stuff than you get for the current one that's like $35. So
that's what I mean. Like they packed parts from another figure in there. Like that Balboa dumbbell came with another figure, right? Slaughter didn't come with dumbbells, did he ever in any of these classifieds?
Well, he's a drill sergeant, so obviously you need to be able to like
I just
give him 20, right?
I don't think he came with dumbbells in any of his previous releases.
Well, he's going to make instead of doing push-ups, he's going to make you do curls.
But GI Joe has revealed drawings of an upcoming figure that comes with dumbbells. Right? His name is Balboa or Fake Balboa.
Okay.
But Big Boa. I don't know his names, but
Big Boa. Big Boa. The boxing guy, Big Boa. Yeah.
Okay, so Jonathan's saying the new Slaughter just comes with an extra dumbbell. Everything else came with the exclusive release. So did the Slaughter have boxing gloves? The other was Slaughter?
He's got some kind of blue gloves there, doesn't he?
Yeah. I got I mean the little action figure came with the old one. I got that.
But did that one come with like boxing gloves, extra hands?
It came with extra hands, but I don't think it came with boxing gloves. No.
Yeah, I think they're just gloves. They're not big enough to be like
because like that's a whole officer and a gentleman thing, right? With those gloves, he's gonna take him into the ring and make mayonnaise like punch him.
I just don't get the short shorts.
Like, all right, nobody saw that movie but me because it was prior to 1988. Anyways, let's see.
I hope we get the fridge. I want the fridge.
Yeah, for sure.
That would be cool.
Refrigerator Perry. Yeah.
Yeah, the picture's really bad, Jonathan. So the artwork for the Marshall box, I don't know how they're going to have 3 different pictures on the same box unless it's like a fold open or something like that. But I think it all looks pretty cool.
It does look cool.
Yeah, I follow this guy on Instagram. He takes some good photos.
Yeah.
So does he have like a robotic head in that one with the red visor?
So he's got the little drop down visor, and then he has like a mic or something that comes over his face.
Is that what it is? Okay.
It's one of the versions that they have for the figure where one of the head versions where he has like the visor just like in the cartoon or whatever.
And then the one on the left is like an anime version?
They're all the same.
I think the one in the middle is actually the package design.
Okay.
Yeah, the one on the left
has been revealed, right? Like it has been announced and revealed that this is the package design. Because I saw in your post you put like question marks.
So can you take that chest armor off, and the one on the left is what's under the chest armor?
Okay, let me go over there. Hold on.
Is that what's going on?
I've only seen like the unpainted prototype kind of pictures, but I haven't searched. But it's been a while now. I think last year at the toy shows, he was showing off a painted like test samples. So it should be pretty close.
It looks really cool, I think. But I mean, if it looked this cool when I was a kid, I probably would have been into this.
And I heard someone say, I heard Ace say it's 6.8 inches tall.
6.8.
Because people asked if it was 6 or 7 inches. She's like, it's 6.88.
All right, let's just look at I'll pull up the Instagram. So there's one of the pictures.
Oh, with the visor, yeah.
And that's with the visor. And then
cool shield.
Yeah. Here's his I don't think the chest piece comes off. It looks like
it does. No, it does come, because look at the picture before. It didn't have it on.
This one?
The one you just showed.
Yeah, it did. It's just not painted. See?
No. Look at how it.
Okay, so it's different.
Piece has lines on it.
Piece, yeah.
Okay. So, just different versions. Looks really cool. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, I did like that art. That's why I wanted to show that off. I like seeing stuff like that. What about this 1/6 scale Beetlejuice figure?
It's got more hair than me.
Beetlejuice.
Don't see it.
But
nothing happened.
Looks pretty cool. I'm not a big 6 scale guy, but I'm sure it'll make a lot of people happy.
Yeah. My brother's in Stamina, by the way.
Like Dino would like it, but I don't think Dino's a big hot toy guy. But this might be his first. You never know. John, I want to ask you, what was the name of your horror movie?
Bag Boy.
Okay, because there's a new one called Bag Man.
That's okay.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my
there
God,
was one.
John. But
there was one made. There was actually one. There was actually one made right after we made ours. We made Bag Boy, and then we saw in the video store there was Bag Head.
Yeah, there's like 4 of them.
Yeah.
Okay, what about this? Is the new Shin Godzilla, whatever, 30-something centimeters or whatever it is.
It looks freaking awesome.
It is pretty cool.
How many people are going to have this Godzilla in their collection?
Oh, not me, because he's probably
too
expensive.
How much do you think?
I would love to, but I bet he's like $1,000.
No, I think that last one Sean got for what, like $130 or something like that. Is that what the retail was on that other Shin, the one that he was asking about?
Is this Shin Godzilla, or is it
from the movie, right?
Oh, this is Shin. It's not -1
movies.
Oh yeah, maybe -1. You're right. Sorry.
It looks more like a statue, but it's cool.
I don't know. His leg probably moves here. He's got this big tail. I don't know what this is here, but
you notice there's no pins in his knees. You don't.
You know why? Because that was actually, those pin technology was developed by Hasbro back in the 60s.
And they're just sticking to it. God dang it.
All right. What about the 3-0 DLX Iron Man Mark 5 million, whatever.
5,000.
5,000. Anybody?
Looks like
cool, but no.
I love it 3,000, but I'm not going to pay for it.
All right.
I know 3-0 makes some quality products, so
they do. I'm not.
I can't afford them.
Yeah, I have Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow from 3-0, the 12-inch figures. They're awesome. They're awesome. Snake Eyes is really good.
Storm Shadow made 6-inch Star Wars back in the day, but it just never happened.
So my brother was in here. He said something about he respects my stance on renewable energy, but did I say anything about renewable energy?
I don't think you did.
No,
first half of the show.
He just came in to troll you. That's what
I
it was.
think you did, man.
Like, okay. Yeah. I'm getting older, so I can't remember. I might have been ranting it up about renewable energy.
I popped it up because I thought it was funny, but
no, I've seen every Marvel movie, but I haven't read every Marvel comic. Is there a black suited Iron Man?
Yeah.
Okay.
In the movie?
It's the Mark 50 in the comics.
I was wearing that in something, right? Oh, you know what? He's talking about my shirt. I'm wearing like a renewable. See, he's paying attention to everything. Gee whiz.
Wow.
And I forgot. I thought I was, this whole time I thought I was wearing a Star Wars shirt. All right. What about, I just wanted to throw this out there. Reinforcements, if you're looking for Mythic Legions, they're going to have in-stock stuff coming up on the 24th of February. The sale will begin at 11 a.m. Eastern. I think the thing that people are really looking forward to is this Valiant Night that they had at one of the conventions. They're going to have the restock. They're going to have in-stock Valiant Nights available and stuff like that.
Trolls.
So I'm telling you guys,
so badass
there, or you're not going to get one.
Yeah. And these trolls are some of the most badass figures ever made, man.
Yeah,
they're so cool if you haven't seen them in person.
Yeah, so that's coming up. I thought it was today. I was going to cancel the stream so I could be on. No, I'm just kidding. But it's the 24th Mythic Legions. Let's see, Jonathan saying they are
just too much of a pain in the ass to get.
Yeah.
Well, there's reasons why they're not at retail, right? Like some companies their products can't be sold to children or marketed to children, so that's why they have that little entertainment section in Walmart now for, NECA horror movies, because you can't market those to kids. But with the Mythic Legions, they're still a smaller company that they're not in a mass production yet. Like maybe one day you will see them in that adult section of Target and Walmart.
Could be.
But there's certain rules you got to follow, and that includes copyrights and stuff on the packaging, and
right.
There's obvious things
obviously
for legal reasons. Jargon.
All right, so throw this up. This is Ramen posted this. They're extending the offer to get all 3 of these figures, and then you get some secret little head with a secret little helmet with some secret patches, and it may look like someone.
Look like the Reacher.
The short Reacher.
Yeah, the really short Reacher.
Or that guy who's in all those MI movies.
I look forward to seeing these. These are cool because we haven't seen too many.
And I might hit him up on this because that would be pretty cool to get the head sculpt, because then you could put it on like a suited body. It could be like that. You could do a whole bunch of stuff with.
You can make your own short Reacher. You can put that head on like a Quill body.
Yeah, or like
That'd be accurate.
maybe the old man, the Logan body.
Oh no, Omega's body. Omega's body.
And then you got Reacher, and you could do a whole stop motion of him beating up 17 people in the parking lot.
And it's cool that Ace uses his own name in the design of that line. Like, that's brilliant.
Right. Yeah, I think that's it. That's all I had. Did I miss anything?
So, well, I have. Did we get through our topics? Do we have a time for one short one?
Sure.
It's freestyle time, John.
Because I have a question. Okay, so I was doing my Lego job in Target this last week.
All right, time's up.
I thought walking through Target, I was like, I realized Target has a couple different sections for clothing that are actual separate clothing stores, but they're in the Target.
Okay.
When you go by the beauty section is Ulta Beauty. It's not Target. It's a separate store. Ulta is a separate store that's in Target. And I noticed the pharmacy was CVS, which is a different company. It's not Target, it's CVS.
Sure.
So how would you think, do you think it would be better if the toy department was actually taken over by a toy store?
Yes. And just so you know, the coffee place up front is Starbucks.
Starbucks, yeah, correct. Yeah.
Target exists, John.
Target is basically becoming like almost like a mini mall where everything, but there's no borders for each little shop.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So in my Target, right next to my toy section is the Disney store, which is marked off by like a carpet, has a big sign.
Yeah, it does.
All the Disney related products are right
there.
There's
a few that do have that. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
So what would you like to see in those toy aisles? Would you like to see a big Toys R Us sign, and then
or KB come back or something like that?
Yeah, like
kind
of interesting.
Or a new store. Would it be something that
it would have to be new because the other two
would it be something would it be worth doing? Like, let's just say the Toy Duo team decided we're going to open up a toy store
inside of Target.
The first thing we're going to do is go to Target and say, listen, we're a new toy store. Let us manage your toy department, and we will be take care of it all. And then they don't have to worry about it. It's like an Ulta Beauty thing. We put up a Toy Duo team toy store logo above it. And
I don't think there's a Disney store rep that comes in and manages that Disney store area. I think that's done by the Target employees.
It is. It's
no, because
marketing kind of thing.
Let's look at it. The Ulta Beauty has their own employee in there. And I actually talked to her because at one of the stores I borrowed some of their acrylic displays to put some Lego on it during Christmas. And she said that she's an Ulta Beauty employee who's there the whole time that Target's open. They have their own
Oh, that's interesting.
Kind of employees that just like Starbucks has their own set. They don't work for Target; they work for Starbucks. You know what I mean?
That's different here, though. That in here, like Canada Post, like our shipping company, like you guys have USPS, we have Canada Post. Our Canada Post, in most cases, is inside another department store, like a drugstore or large department store. But the people that work there are actually employees of the department store and not of Canada Post. Like that's really? Just one. Wow. It's weird. I learned that over the past 5 years, knowing the ladies that work there. They also go, price the potato chips or work at the front. So they also have to learn the price was.
See, stamped. The Starbucks employee or the Ulta Beauty employee would never work the register at the. But
we also have our Starbucks here are also inside department stores and stuff like that. And I think when they are inside the department stores, they are employees of that department store and they get paychecks from said department store. Like, here's the Starbucks shirt. Here's the Starbucks rules. I don't know how it works, but Toys R Us here now have HMVs inside and they're completely different companies. So like when someone goes to the cash register now with like a Twisted Sister cassette tape or whatever, and a Marvel Legends figure, somehow that money has to be separated. So I can see
that's what I think happens
in the future where other vendors go inside larger vendors, and then based on the barcoding and however their pricing works, that money will somehow get separated. But it's weird to see it in a big department store like Target.
Target. But I was just wondering, my question was mostly like, do you think it would be managed better and things would be in stock and things would be if it was a separate company doing their toy section, like Ulta Beauty?
Would get managed better. John, if Target gave you the autonomy to be able to stock it with what you wanted to stock it with, because then I think you could bring in like a variety of different things that wouldn't necessarily be something Target would say because, we got to be family, whatever, friendly or whatever. Yeah. But then you could also, like if you were running it, right, you would say, I'm more aware of what the trends are and what people want. So I'm going to order, specifically to make sure that this place gets sold.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Because I thought about it because I was like,
flyers and advertise stuff. So they'd have to really work well together. Like Target would have to maybe own that smaller toy company.
They don't own
Disney Store.
No, but in order for it to work,
a partnership, right? They sign some sort of agreement or something like that. That like, we're going to use your name, and then it's going to have some credibility because people are looking for the Disney Store. They're inside of Target, but then we're going to get a portion of the sales from it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
because like why? Because I guess what it was wondering is like, why does it work for Ulta Beauty? You know what I mean? And
maybe Target
owns section.
Well, it's because
they don't own Ulta. Ulta's its own company.
Ulta also sells their own branded products, right?
Yeah, they have a little of both.
So they sell their branded stuff. That's why. So Jonathan actually sent me a picture of this, and I forgot that I did see this come out. This is pretty cool.
Oh yeah, that one's cool.
Yeah, so that's what, the Monkey King or whatever.
Yeah, I like that.
These are cool. I've seen one or two of them, and my buddy says they're his favorite figures, and he's like got all the mythic legions and cosmic legions, and he loves this.
Who makes this one?
Is it not called Fresh Monkey Fiction, or I don't know why that name's in my head, but I can't read those Asian characters. Excuse me.
No, I don't know.
Oh well, you're gonna have to go back to school.
Yeah.
You know what? You could have read those characters if you weren't learning about the Canadian space
arm.
I'll tell you what, I learned more about Asian languages than you guys in America learned about the worldwide metric system. I'll guarantee you that.
I actually learned a lot about the metric system in all of my math classes that I had to take.
Yeah.
I watched Rum was doing a build this morning, and Muzza pulls out this big, huge TIE fighter box, and it says the wings are 15 inches tall. And everyone in the chat was like, "Oh, what the hell's 15 inches?" Like, it's weird to see all these people new metric because none of them were from America. Like,
right.
It's weird that the box had inches on it. That's what I thought was weird. Yeah.
The interesting thing about that, John, is you talking about like some sort of a money-making idea. I'm just wondering if my brother is still listening and writing that down.
Taking notes.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
There you go.
He's probably
he
going to
just
be
bought a section
opening
of
his
Target.
own store, 56 Awesome Somethings, coming to Targets near you any day now.
Yeah, there you go.
Brought to you by John.
And Vern's brother, if no one knows, he's an MVP because he helped make this happen. MVP.
Yeah, he's out in Florida now.
I just got mine, Rick. You saw the video, right?
Absolutely. I think I liked it.
It took me forever to get it.
I liked it 3 times. And you stripped him down naked.
Well, we had to see if he was hammerhead underneath, didn't we?
Yeah, I couldn't believe you stripped him down. Mine.
I mean, you didn't
never
strip
been out
yours
of his robe.
down?
Isn't it? No, mine's never been out of the robe.
I can't wait to see Hammerhead in the Bad Batch in less than a week way. Less than a week way, we're going to see Hammerhead return in the Bad Batch.
Yeah.
All right. We will see about that.
Oh, if he doesn't, man, cancel.
Maybe John. Maybe what we should do is buy out the KB Toys name.
Yeah.
And then go hit up Target and say, "Hey, we'd like to open up a mini KB Toys inside of Targets."
You could make it the KB Toy Duo.
And the KB stands for Kill Bunnies.
The KB Toy Duo Team.
I think
there you go.
Someone did actually. And what's the other toy store you guys had? You guys had another
secretly have it as a terrible name.
You guys had another toy store with like a clown.
Circus World.
Yeah, no, we didn't have that. I never saw that place.
I think someone bought that name as well. So I think someone does own them.
Yeah, there used to be a place in Merced called Hobby Castle, but I think that was just like a one-off place. I think it's like what's this toy store? Rix, what's this toy store that you say some guy bought the name, the little toy place that we were joking about was like if I type that in,
Toy Traders.
Toy Traders. I'm going to type it in right now and find out how many Toy Traders.
Oh, I'm sure a million, just like the Heroes and Villains.
Oh yeah, there's one a block from here.
Do you know
Child's World had the
Heroes and Villains comic stores are throughout the world? There's a lot that have been around for like.
Is that in Langley, British Columbia?
Yes, that's the one.
Okay.
You guys remember Children's Palace?
Yeah, Children's Palace got bought by Circus World. No,
Circus
World merged with KB. Child's Palace merged with Child's World. Yeah.
The clown one.
KB Toys. Blue Sasquatch trying to say, is this live? Yeah, for about 3 more minutes. And then Gary's Grills is saying, would it be JV Toys?
JV Toys. I don't remember any other toy store growing up in Canada other than Toys R Us. But I remember most of my toys came from like Sears,
JCPenney, yeah.
Well, we didn't have JCPenney, but we had Sears and Kmart,
Montgomery Wards,
and for the catalogs. Not only we had Sears catalog, we had the famous Consumers Distributing catalog.
We had Arden's. We had Arden's also. I still have an Arden's catalog over there.
We had a little store that was next to the Thrifties. It was kind of like Thrifties, but they called it Sprouse Ritz, and it like had like a bigger toy section or whatever. And that's where I used to ride my bike down to go check stuff out.
It's a different landscape now. Like now, I can only find some toys at London or Walmart down the street from me at the big Walmart store. One little aisle of boys' toys, and half of it's Ninja Turtles and half of it's actual cool toys.
But how many space shuttle toys are there with the Canadian arm?
In existence, there's a lot.
And the arm is extra big too. It's just you open up that hatch, it's all arm.
If you look, if there's a Lego space shuttle,
Canadian space arm, a toy for every generation.
I'm bringing up Lego because I think they made a Lego space shuttle.
Oh, they did.
I would guarantee you, if it has a arm, it has a Canada flag sticker on it.
It's got the arm.
Yeah. I think you should market a toy like that, Rick. The Canadian space arm.
And it should attach to your arm, and you can move it around.
I'm pretty sure it exists, right? Like you attach it to a table, and it's like a little arm.
It can attach to my dad's golf bag.
Right.
People out picking up garbage with their Canada arms.
There you go. You can have a whole market. The Canadian space arm, developed here in Canada.
Canadian history, man. Learn it.
An exclusive item of the KB Toy Duo team.
All right. What do you guys got going on this week? Anything coming up?
I'm going to do toy photography today because it's sunny as balls, and I really need to take advantage of it.
Yes, you do. You should grab that Razor Crest, haul it down to some place that looks like a desert, and take all the pictures.
I have to go all the way to California for desert.
Yeah, you need to do that.
Rick, did you see the new Sasquatch movie trailer?
Yes, that's so freaking hilarious.
Isn't it good? Oh, that's gonna be
God,
awesome.
it looks so good. That's the funny dude. I can't remember his name. Not Andy Serkis. But yeah,
You know how many people are gonna think that's real though?
My God, it's
Because
so funny.
my mom still thinks the mermaid thing was real. So
if you haven't seen the trailer, go watch. There's no dialogue. Like there's no words in it. Like it's just
you're following a family of Sasquatch. There wouldn't be words.
So original.
Okay.
I can't wait.
It's a nature movie. It's a nature movie following a family of Sasquatch, and it's real.
Can you imagine if it's narrated by that famous British?
Oh, Britt Attenborough.
Oh, Attenborough. If he narrates that movie, it'd be brilliant.
You got anything coming up?
Nope.
Who?
Dan.
There you go.
There it is.
We're famous.
Canada arm.
Look at that.
Oh,
Canada. There's a
Canada.
green screen in the background.
Rick,
So realistic.
we're very proud
It is a
of
green
Canada for
screen
that.
in the
The
background.
world's biggest green screen.
It is a green screen.
Dan, are you doing Toys and Fitness tomorrow?
I think so. I don't know. If Dean was working on something last weekend, and
He's
I don't
too
know.
busy at the toy store right now to be doing anything.
Yeah, he was. I'm surprised he didn't call us all
Yeah,
back.
If he
15
didn't call
times.
today, who knows? Yeah.
He's working.
John, you got anything coming up on your channel?
I'm working on 3 videos. They just need me to voice over them, and then they'll be done.
Oh, do you need anybody's voice, or is it going to be yours?
Would you want to voice over one of them? Okay.
John, do you have
hilarious?
these?
Yeah, I
John,
love those. I
Okay,
love
now,
those. Yeah.
These two bodies, do you think one is any buffer than the other? Or are they the exact same?
Well, I can't
mold.
tell.
Can't tell with that reflection on the
Yeah,
plastic. Can
I
you
mean-
rip them out really quick?
I will be.
I think that line reused a lot of parts. They probably are the same.
So I'm making a custom Punisher. So I need white gloves and boots.
Oh, I get it. Okay.
And I think I have to use his head as a Punisher.
All right.
But he doesn't look buff. He looks too skinny.
Yeah.
So I
That
might
looks like
use
it's
this
going to be
body.
pretty cool. Is that going to? Are you going to do it? Let me ask you a
There you
question.
go.
When you customize that figure, are you going to film it and make a video of it?
Yes.
Okay, that will help your view.
You know what I did Wednesday and Thursday?
rating that you got going on.
Wednesday and Thursday, I filmed for about 8 hours total of me making. Oh, I just dropped them all. Of me making 65 of these.
I watched.
I saw the video. Yes,
And I got like a 40-second short out of it, but I literally filmed for 2 days.
I watched it. Yeah.
But
So
you
much.
should be making a longer film too, with all like the rough edits and stuff, and showing like any mistakes that you made along the way. And
It's all existing,
know,
but it's all existing in portrait modes.
whatever you
unfortunately.
were cursing about at the time and stuff like that.
Well,
You
the
can flip
reason why
those.
I can't just use that because I watch like other videos on another computer while I'm making these videos. Well, I don't watch, I listen.
But you can turn the volume down and then do a
yeah, but then you
voiceover.
wouldn't hear me speaking, and I have
You
to
could voice over it. You could just voice over it, and then you could recreate the cursing scenes.
I recreate the cursing scenes.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's what I'm saying. All right, we'll be expecting that video from Left Coast Graphics. It'll probably take
right before
3
Christmas.
4 days, and all right,
It'll come out a week after they actually produce a Punisher retro figure.
probably as soon as you're done making it. But I do want to see a video of you making a custom figure, and it should be longer than 60 seconds.
It will be. I'll
All right.
today, Vern.
All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to the Toy Duo team this Saturday, where we discuss the Fantastic Four, all the action figure reveals that we could think of, and what else were we talking about? The Canadian Space Arm. Thanks for everybody.
No, it's a Canada arm. It's Canada
Yeah,
arm.
the Canada Arm for tuning in.
No,
We'll
it's
see you next
Canada.
week.
It's Canada arm.
Canada. I'll
No,
never
there's
get it
no.
right.
There's not 2 words. It's Canada arm.
With an
I'll never
X,
get it right. I'll never get it right. What else has Canada developed? We'll talk about that next week on the Toy Duo team.
Toys, 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 manly toys, 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 toys.
Let them And TV and movies too.